Today we're going to look at sections 4.2 and 4.3, which are stem-changing verbs, or los verbos de cambio de raíz. We're going to look at both E to I E verbs, O to UE verbs, and although there's only one, el verbo jugar, also U to UE verbs. So stem-changing verbs deviate from the normal pattern of regular verbs. So when they're conjugated, they have a vowel change in the last syllable of the stem. Por ejemplo, el verbo empezar, meaning to go, the E changes to IE. The yo, tú, él, ella, usted, and the ellos, ellas, ustedes forms, right? So yo empiezo, tú empiezas, él, ella, usted empieza. Nosotros empezamos, vosotros empezáis, ellos, ellas, ustedes empiezan. Many other verbs, such as volver, which means to return, the stem vowel changes from an O to a UE. Yo vuelvo, tú vuelves, él, usted vuelve. Nosotros volvemos, vosotros volvéis, ellos, ellas, ustedes vuelven. The text also goes ahead and identifies them right after the verb, E to IE or O to UE, when you see them anywhere listed, which is just a useful study tool, and I would recommend that you do the same so you can keep track of what vowel is changing to what other vowel. So el verbo empezar usually has, well, in fact almost always has, the preposition a after. Por ejemplo, los chicos empiezan a hablar de su visita al cenote. Same thing with volver. They usually return to someone. Volver al algo. Ellos vuelvan a comer en el restaurante. So, just want to remind you once again that the stem changes only happen in what some people refer to as the boot, which is just these four forms right here. And the reason why is because it happens in the naturally stressed syllable of the word. Because it ends in a vowel, in the naturally stressed syllable is the second to last one, right? Empiezo, empiezas, empieza, empiezan. But in these ones, because this ends in S, the second to last, the stress should be here, right? Empezamos. And because this word is accented over the A, the vosotros form, empezáis, you notice that this syllable is not naturally stressed, and therefore it doesn't change. And that's the reason why stem changes happen in the first place, is when this syllable is constantly in the mouth of people, it tends to become a diphthong, which is two vowels in one syllable. It just tends to change over time. These are very common stem-changing verbs that I would recommend you know. They're very important. Cerrar, to close. Comenzar, usually comenzar a, to begin, which means the same exact thing as empezar. Like we have to begin or to start, to commence. Muy bien. Entender, which is the same thing as comprender, to understand. Pensar, meaning to think, which literally means the act of thinking, usually, unless like what you believe or something like that. Like, what do you think of this thing is usually a different verb, el verbo creer. Perder, to lose or to miss. Preferir, to prefer. And querer, to want or to love. The common O to UEs of verbs are almorzar, to have lunch. Contar, to count or to tell. Dormir, to sleep. Encontrar, to find. Mostrar, to show. Poder, to be able to, can mean can. Recordar, to remember. And volver, to return. Jugar is the only U to UE verb in all of Spanish, and it's followed by the word a and the definite article when the name of a sport or a game is mentioned. Por ejemplo, ella juega al tenis y al golf, o los chicos juegan al fútbol. O otro ejemplo, ¿juegas al tenis? As I said before, comenzar and empezar require the preposition a when they are followed by an infinitive. They begin playing at 7. Comienzan a jugar a las 7. Ana empieza a escribir un postal. Anna is starting to write a postcard. Pensar means plus an infinitive, rather pensar plus an infinitive, has the meaning of to plan or to intend to do something. ¿Piensan ir al gimnasio? Are you all planning to go to the gym? And when it's pensar en, it usually means to think about someone or about something. ¿En qué piensas? Pienso en la tarea. Pienso en el examen. Algo así. So now we're just going to go ahead and look at 4.3, other stem-changing verbs, which operate in the exact same way, except they're E to I rather than E to IE. Por ejemplo, el verbo pedir, a very important verb in Spanish, means to ask for or to request. Yo pido, tú pides, él o usted pide, nosotros pedimos, vosotros pedís, eso es, ustedes piden. So as I said, once again, the stem changes only happen in these four forms, and not in the nosotros and vosotros forms. These are the most common E to I stem changing verbs. Conseguir, which means to get or to obtain. Decir, which means to say or to tell. Repetir, which means to repeat. And seguir, which means to follow or to continue. It also means to keep doing something. So let's look at el verbo pedir. Yo pido favores cuando es necesario. Or sigue con su tarea. El verbo seguir. Sigue con su tarea. El verbo decir. Javier dice la verdad. Dice la verdad. Y conseguir. Consiguen ver buenas películas. They get to see good movies. Do notice that el verbo conseguir, decir, and seguir all have irregular yo forms. El verbo decir is irregular in the yo form in the sense that it says yo digo and not yo dico, right? Yo digo. And the yo forms of seguir and conseguir also have a spelling change. Sigo or consigo. Por ejemplo, sigo su plan. I'm following their plan. Or consigo novelas en la librería. I'm getting novels at the bookstore. No? So here just to look at decir one more time. It's a very, very important verb. We talk a lot about what we say or what we tell. Yo digo, tú dices, él o usted dice, nosotros decimos, vosotros decís, ellos ustedes dicen. And notice once again, the stem changes only happen in this form. Sometimes el verbo decir is called a go verb because the yo form ends in the words go, or in the word go. So that's actually what we're going to look at in the next section of the book as well.